Mr. Simpson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you might suspect, I would be opposed to this amendment, scientifically based opposed to this amendment. Some people think this is going to be opening the door. I don't think this allows for the future inclusion of Twinkies in the WIC program. Medium-sized potato contains more potassium than a banana and is a good source of dietary fiber, both of which are nutrients of concern, meaning those nutrients most lacking in Americans' diets, according to USDA 2010 dietary guidelines. Potatoes contain folate, which is especially important during pregnancy. WIC participants do not overconsume fresh white potatoes. Data from the Centers for Disease Control 2005 to 2008. National Health and Nutritional Examination Survey shows that WIC women consumed only 2.1% of their total calories from fresh white potatoes, while non-WIC participants consume 2.4% of their calories from potatoes, scientifically based. Potatoes do not crowd out other vegetables, according to the 2006 study designed to mimic the WIC fruit and vegetable program and published by the Journal on American Dietetic Association. WIC-eligible women purchased carrots, tomatoes, lettuce, broccoli more frequently than potatoes. In 2010 dietary guidelines for Americans calls for more than 50% increase per week of starchy vegetable consumption in a 2,000-calorie diet compared to the 2005 DGA. The reality is that they've been using information that is 2 decades old. 2 decades old. They haven't been using the latest dietary guidelines when they came up with this rule. So we could argue the science till the cows come home. But remember, we're not talking about the good stuff. Potato chips, French fries, tater tots, that kind of stuff. We're talking about fresh white potatoes. That's all we're talking about. Now let me tell you what's really stupid about this rule. And if anyone in this room can explain this to me, I would be amazed. I got 2 sacks of potatoes here. These happen to both come from Idaho. Guess what? Participants in WIC can buy this sack of potatoes. They can't buy this sack of potatoes. Does that seem silly to you? Is this a nutritional guideline that we've got? You know the difference? These were bought at a grocery store. These were bought at a farmer's market. Same potatoes. I can go to the Eastern market down here and buy potatoes on my WIC program, but I can't go down the street to Safeways and buy those potatoes. Does this make sense to you? Is this a program that was established for nutritional guidelines? We've asked the department to revisit their rule and use the latest science, but so far they've refused to do that. And you heard some of the diatribe against potatoes by the ranking member in her opening statement and by Ms. Lee's reading of the First Lady's letter. It's all nonsense. I urge you to oppose this amendment.